Intended to be a schematic design of a building. It's merely the bubbles that show those 14 areas that we program, and in each one of those there are multiple functions. For example, in your music area, you're going to have an instrumental music practice room, a large group practice room, a vocal large group practice room, your ensemble rooms, your individual practice, your instrument and uniform storage, and your music libraries. So within that bubble, all of those different things are programmed. Within phys ed, you have your gymnasium, your auxiliary gym, your health classrooms, your athletic director, your training room, your lobby services. So multiple things go into each one of these areas as they're being programmed. My fear is that I'll hit the wrong button down here.
Before I talk a little bit more about the schedule, let me talk a little bit about accountability. And I think that what's important about a project of this magnitude or any public project is the accountability that you as a board and the community as a whole will know that we are bringing you information so that you can make decisions. And your decisions will allow us to progress on to the next step. For example, everything that I mentioned, the soil testing and the environmental testing and all of these the sub-consultant contracts that we're going to be awarding, you will see those and also have the approval process of that. Every time Katie talks about the program of requirement coming to conclusion, we will be presenting to you a large book that addresses not only the program, but the cost, the schedule, and you will actually approve that. Because without your approval, we really don't move on. So I think the accountability part of it, you'll always see something in reflection of what it's going to cost, how are we doing per the schedule, and also are we within compliance with Ohio School Facilities Commission so that they and you know that the money is being spent appropriately. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline. Katie talked about the process of the program of requirements. We are in the throes right now of getting the program of requirements put together. Now this is quite a compressed look at the future, but I think it's important for you to understand where we are today and where we hope to be in the near future. The building is going to be divided up into 4 major pieces of design. The program of requirements, which is nothing more than a paper reflection of what the building might look like. And then once we progress into the schematic design, the design development, and the contract documents, the building begins to take shape, and also it allows people to start looking at what it's going to look like. So if we take a look at 2007, which is the first portion of the extreme left-hand side of the ruler there, we are heavily into doing the program of requirements. And the construction, it's over in this stage here. Program of requirements we're targeting to be finished in September, which will allow you as the board to see that first large book of program of requirements, reflection of cost, reflection of schedule, and everything else that we're going to be moving forward, so you can approve that. You're going to have a large library of binders when this project is finished. So buckle up, we're about ready to come at you. From October through the early part of the 2008, we will be working on the schematic design and the start of the design development. That's when you and the public will start seeing form and function take place, where the building will start being sited on the site. We will at that point have acquired all the properties we need to. The building should be demolished in large measure. Our target right now is to have an early site package in late spring of 2008. What that means is that we'll probably start vacating 6th Street, contouring the property, putting in underground utilities, and preparing the site for the building. If everything goes the way we know that it will, construction documents will be finished in about the August of 2008, where we'll bid the project, actually put it out on the street for contractors to bid the project. And from approximately November, December of 2008 all the way through to 2011, we will be constructing the project. So as a thumbnail, we'll give you more detail as it gets developed. We're in the process now of thinking of the details that make up every one of these major little bars here, so that the schedule will be detailed up to hundreds of activities, telling us what we'll be doing every week, not only just every month, but every week. And then also that'll be a reflection for you of where we are with the progress. So again, we're going to have major approvals from you for the POR, the schematic design, design development, and also the contract documents. And as we bid the project, every construction contract will come before you to approve before the contractors start executing the work. So, Katie?
Okay. Before we move on to any questions, comments, and concerns that you may have, I do want to take a moment to thank two members of your central office team, Rich Nielsen and Mark Sutter. They did a tremendous amount of legwork for us in terms of distributing surveys, coordinating meetings, took me on walkthroughs of the building. So I sincerely appreciate the support that they gave us in accomplishing the groundwork to get the POR moving. Feedback and questions are always encouraged during the process. As with the teachers' comments, they're incorporated to the extent that they meet the OSFC's guidelines for the project, and that they're practical and beneficial to a project that's going to meet the educational needs of your students and your staff as we work to provide you with a first-class school facility. This is a facility that's going to serve you long into the future, that's going to be the pride of your community and your students and graduates in the future. Questions, comments, and concerns that you might have?
Can you talk a little bit about the approval process for the construction manager, et cetera? Have you gone through an approval process from this OSFC? Have we made those final
Approximately 2
determinations?
weeks ago, we submitted to the Ohio School Facilities Commission our proposals saying that we absolutely want to do the job as your construction manager. The OSFC probably received a handful of packages from other CMs who believe they also would like to be your construction manager. The process right now is in the review process by OSFC. They hope to have that by, what, the 10th? That process should be completed by the 10th, reviewing all the submittals, the qualifications that we submitted. What that means is they're going to shortlist. If they receive 5 or 6, maybe 7 different proposals from other construction managers, they will shortlist down to a minimum of 3. That process, we will then be notified that we've been shortlisted, and that gives us permission to come out and get to know you. And so, and so you'll expect to see a visit from us, Paul, so we'll probably knock on your door.
That's
and,
good to know.
in that process, the construction managers will come out and try to get to know as much as they can about this massive project that we've been living with for the past X number of years in about 20 days or less. So give them your ear and give them as much advice as you can. In about, I'd say 20 to 30 days after the shortlist is made, we will be notified that we'll have formal presentations, and we'll go down to Columbus and present our case to the OSFC about why we believe we're the most qualified to do the job. And from then, OSFC will make a selection, notify us, hopefully by the end of September. Now, in the past, where districts have already received their funding, and you are one of those, they try to accelerate, if possible, that process because they know that the architect is moving forward and you're moving forward by purchasing property, tearing buildings down, and things of that nature. And while we are assisting you in an unofficial mode, we are not doing anything differently than we would if we were official. So I would guess, Holly, that within the next couple of months you'll know for sure, but we're not there yet. So please entertain our visit when we ask to come down and get to know you. So.
Absolutely. Thank you. Mm-hmm.